When you're being asked these questions, tell me about yourself. What's on your mind? For me, I can be prepared and confident, but when I'm very early on, I will usually be raised with questions. What do I talk about? Do I talk about my titles, my experience, or anything? Now that I have many years in academia, industry, and many volunteer and outreach experience, I found there are 3 ways that can fit almost situation where you are being asked, tell me about yourself, or let's get the roundtable of introduction. Hopefully, this strategy will help you. This question is not just about listing your resume. Like I first started out, I thought that why not just go through my resume? I already put all my history and my skills up there. You can do that. I'm not supposed to do that. But I found that if you want to be more authentic, connected to people, and feel more approachable, then you have to do your homework so that people can resonate with you and you in a way that you also feel rewarding after this activity. So here are the 3 strategy and method. I'll give you example for each one. The first is experience focused and skills focused and mission focused. How does that mean that for experience focused? This is where you highlight the breadth of your past roles and responsibilities. So that's really similar to what you are doing in an interview when you interview a job, a new role, either across company or outside company. Experience-focused introduction is the most commonly used strategy and method in your networking, in your interview, or in just casual introductions. And that's very common because we have our resume, we know what to talk about, and we know our past experience. So very quick example, I have worked in the chemical industry for 3 years as a scientist, and before I have my PhD in chemistry and I came from Taiwan as a chemistry major. And the second one is skills-focused introduction, which I found really interesting and I found through my experience. In fact, I think this is a really juicy one that can really add colors to your tell me about yourself answers. So this approach will work very well when you are advocating for a project, a role, an opportunity that your profile might not be the necessary, say, perfect fit for the traditional criteria. So this skill is particularly to highlight the value or the perspective to the table that criteria that the traditional criteria or selection process would not really think about when your profile comes out. So this is really an opportunity for you to shine and for you to practice how to resonate the other person that you have the passion and you have the skill, you have everything you need to take over and to step on the new opportunity. Even your background is not perfectly matched, and this could be effective in opening doors to the roles that where you might have the transferable skills and the unique perspective where you are not immediately obvious from your audience. Alright, I want to give you an example of how to use this skill-focused introduction. Say I'm following up the first example of experience-based introduction, then I'll add something transition like this. So that said, I have a combination of chemistry and science communication. I came across science communication, particularly in science writing in my PhD program. And since then, I have been involved in many writing activities. I even worked as a science journalist in the newsroom because I really enjoy to transferring complex ideas and concepts into accessible languages and content so people can enjoy the science and make the science accessible. And what will happen usually with this kind of more colors in your introduction is that people will start to pick out that the keywords or the connections that your experience with their needed rules or needed efforts. For example, they have a project and they might be looking for members to add on experience in communication or writing or organize events that requires people understand science or sort of kind of things. So don't assume that this experience is irrelevant. Try it out and people pick up and the doors will be open for you. All right, now the third one is a mission-focused introduction. This requires a more deeper understanding of yourself and to the organization or the people you are talking to, and maybe you need to do some homework. But I found this is really the missing piece that I have lacked in my very early on interview, because at that time I still think that interview is just about qualification and what you have experienced and what skills you have. That's it. But that's not it, and it can always be deeper and bring more authentic yourself to the table. So I have a few examples of when to use that. The first, job interview, which I say that I have not been doing very well in the beginning, but I learned that it's a very important part, because it's about showing if this is the situation that you show your enthusiasm and passion about this specific role. The second situation you can use mission-driven introduction is when you are doing informal interview. Because when speaking to someone, particularly for example for career advice, and focus on your mission could really help people to understand your values and your goals, so they have a better idea to connect you with someone that you could talk to and gain more insights or connection with. Another example is, which you will be surprised, is when you are presenting or pitching an idea. So yes, in a presentation, it could be your job talk or your conference talk or at your regular meeting progress presentation. Because when you're advocating for this project or initiative or collaboration, emphasizing your mission can really resonate emotionally with your audience and align with their priorities, which is very surprising, and I found it really useful, because that's really the place and the stage that you can share and you can really talk in your way, not just about the professional or technical content, but why you as a person, it would have to be you to talk about or to lead about this project. The final example relevant to the above one about in the presentation, why about you, that this example that you can use mission-driven introduction is when you are applying a leadership position, or you have some kind of interest that you want to connect with somebody else that might have the decision making, or they have the connection that could advocate for your leadership. An example for me is when I start to think about management or people leadership role. Usually there's not just about the qualification that are my past experience. I really have to bring about my thinking and my feeling or my experience look like. For me, I really feel very strongly that in my past career, who have been involved in my journey that bring me to this state. It's all about the teachers, the professors, the mentors, the coaches who encouraged me, nudged me to do something else, to try it out. When I was frustrated, they gave me another perspective so I can keep going. And that's really what resonates me, because I think doing a leadership position is really meaningful in terms of that really impact a person so profoundly and deeply. And just not one, right? For a people's career, there'll be so many people and so many opportunities that shape a person's journey. So for me, I hope I can be someone's partially at least to influence their thinking and their decision making. So that's really the mission, my personal mission, and my professional mission comes into the play and into the story. Okay, I hope this method or the strategy could really help you, give you some ideas or inspiration when next time you're being asked, tell me about yourself, walk me through your resume, or give us an introduction. This is a really hard question and a lot of people can struggle with it. For me or for us as an introvert, it's really hard to be talkative about ourselves, or who we are, want to be very structured or organized. in a way that I want it to be perfect. The main message is that it doesn't have to be perfect, because we are always evolving and changing with our life, with our thoughts and our life experience. And it's okay that you have to take time and do your homework to structure the story, to think about who you are, who you want to be, or what mission you are driving me to accomplish things, or to try out new opportunities. Let me know what you think about this video and what's your approach about this question.